Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Talking eBay, where we talk everything eBay to help educate you, motivate you, and inspire you to keep doing what you're doing on eBay. Hope you enjoying your day. It is an awesome day in October. Can you believe it's October? Isn't that ridiculous? Like Halloween's like a few weeks away, and that's absolutely insane. I mean, I just can't get over it myself. I mean, Halloween's around the corner. I mean, come on. It was just New Year's Day. All right. That's how fast time goes, guys. So you got to get your, in gear and get going and just start listing because the fourth quarter is here, and hope your journey is doing well with eBay. So what's going on with eBay? You know what? It's been kind of quiet. Haven't heard too much what's going on. I've been just constantly listing and just testing the listing versus not listing and sales versus not sales, and seeing how I do. And still the test does say if I don't list a lot, I don't get any sales. It's kind of weird, but that's just how it works. You know, either you're paying, this is my theory is, guys. Two ways of getting sales on eBay. This is just, I've come up with this just the other day, and I was telling my wife, I said, listen, I think this is what's going on. And it's called the algorithm. There's a reason why they call it an algorithm. They figured out, and this is across the board. I don't care if it's Facebook, I don't care if it's YouTube, I don't care if it's Instagram, doesn't really matter. If you don't engage, and if you don't participate, and if you don't list, and if you don't make video, whatever it is, you lose momentum. You lose the algorithm. And that's really what it is. So they figured out the algorithm. There's two ways to use the algorithm with eBay. Either you pay for promoted listings, that's one of the algorithms, or you consistently list. And the more you list, the more you spend if you don't have a specific store. So you're kind of paying anyway. So that's kind of what I figured out. And I think that's really true because I've been doing a lot of listing that I would stop for a week and I was seeing my sales slowing down. And then I would work another week and I would list a lot of stuff and my sales would go up. I would stop listing and my sales would go down. So that's what's going on with that. That's kind of weird and funky, but that's really the fact of it. If you're not posting, if you're not hosting, if you're not listing, podcasting, whatever it is, even this podcast, if I stop doing a podcast, within a few weeks, I see my numbers going down. The algorithm drops. People stop listening. It stops getting recommended. TikTok, it's all the same thing. So eBay is no different. They figured out a way to just say, well, you know what? The more you engage, the more we're going to help you engage. Either you pay or you pay. And that's just the way it is with eBay. And listen, we love eBay because, you know what? It gives us money back. It helps us, explore different ideas and different things. And I just got to tell you a couple different things that I did with me lately, and maybe you can do the same thing as well. So, eBay had the 30th anniversary, and I could not make it, but that's no problem. I still enjoyed the conference. It was really good, and I got a couple of gift cards. My wife and myself, we got a gift card for attending. So we had a couple $100, whatever it was, $100, whatever it is, and we got a gift card, and it was cool. And so what I did was, so she said to me, we don't need anything else right now on eBay. We don't need more supplies. We get supplies. We get this. We get that. Let's source something so we can flip on eBay. Use eBay's money to make money with eBay. That was brilliant. I said, I love that. The problem was we couldn't find anything really valuable, enough of the margin, because a lot of people do this. They'll find things on eBay, they'll flip it on eBay, and that's really difficult to do. So you got to kind of find the offshoot. You got to kind of find the person who's not familiar with eBay or not, just always selling all the time. And so came across this listing, looking around, and as you know, I love tinkering with clocks and antiques. That's one of my things I like to do, and I make a lot of money doing that because I find things that are broken and I fix them. I will give you an example. I'll go over my bolos in a few minutes. Hold on for that, so stay tuned for that one. Let me finish this story first. So we looked around and I said, oh, there's a nice listing. It was an auction. I usually don't do auctions. I usually do buy it now because you just never know how it's going to go. And so I said, let me just try this auction. I said, let me look up this. I sourced the stuff. It was a bunch of clock parts, cuckoo clock parts. Okay, for instance, this is cuckoo clock parts. It was a lot of 60 movements. Okay, parts and repair. So they probably weren't working. They need work, whatever it is. It doesn't really matter. It's parts and repair. It's all kinds of stuff. And it was 60 of them. And the auction was at like $20 or $30. And I figured, let me just calculate how much I'm going to spend, no more than so-and-so amount of dollars. And this is how I recommend you doing when you're doing auctions. If you're looking to flip it, if you're looking to buy it for yourself, it doesn't matter. Whatever it's worth to you personally, that's different. That's a psychological value versus I don't know, whatever it is, when you're trying to make money, right? It's a physical value. It's something that someone loves, something like a childhood toy. You have to have it. You'll pay anything. Versus if you're looking to make money on it, you got to look at the logistics and say, okay, how much can I make? What's my margin and all that kind of stuff. So you know that. So I found these clock movements. I think it was, I believe it was 60. And I said, okay, I knew how much I wanted to pay each movement. That's how I figured it out. Oh, no, it was 40 movements. I'm sorry, not 60, 40 movements. 40 movements. I said, I'm not going to pay any more than $5 a movement. That's $200, right? Okay, cool. I said, I'm not going to go any higher than $200. That's my max. If it goes over, I don't care. I'm moving on to the next thing. Fine, perfect. So, of course, I try to snipe at the end. They don't really do the reset of the clock thing. So whatever you get, which is cool. I like that. And I'm watching it. It was like $130. I wanted to go to the max was 200. So it was like 2 minutes left. Now you don't know what the highest bid is because they hold that bid down until you bid, and it could automatically go up over that bid because it's called a proxy bid. So if someone puts in $200 and it's at 150 and they're the highest one, you have to go over 200 to win that bid. So that's kind of how that works. So I'm sitting there, I'm waiting for like another 30 seconds left. I said, wait, the last 30 seconds I give myself, because that way, time someone gets notified, time they get the email, time they get notification, unless they're watching it that second, they're going to lose. So they have to be on it every second to watch it. And you only got 15, 30 seconds. You don't have a lot of time. And you might put a bid in that's not high enough to outbid the highest bid. So your actual success rate is much higher if you wait to the end, know your max bid, and put that bid in at the last 30 seconds, 40 seconds, right around there, and just put it in and let it ride. So see what happens. Shipping was $25, which was fine. So overall, I was like, I'm into it. Each piece around $6, whatever, $7, whatever it is. It wasn't a lot of money. So the last 30 seconds, I put my bid in for 200, and it went up to 157 because it was like, say it was 150, someone put it in some 153, whatever the highest bid was, 160, whatever it was. I got it for like 189, whatever it was. I just closed, boom, I wanted it because the other people didn't have enough time to really react to the counter bidding. If they didn't put enough in, that's how that works. That's why you always calculate what you want to pay first, the maximum. That way you're not guessing, oh, can I go $10 more? Do I have to go $10 less? I don't know. It's like, no, know your numbers up front, and you most likely will win those auctions. And that's kind of how I play that game. And I did get it. I did win, and it took me about a week to get it. It was fantastic, and it came all 40 pieces, and it's parts and repair. And she threw in a bunch of extra stuff like extra gears and extra pieces and everything. That was really cool. So that was really nice of them. So that was awesome. So I'm selling these pieces and parts alone. They're worth like $100 just because, because I always told you sometimes it doesn't have to be a working piece. Sometimes people are looking for the parts. There's a lot of parts in a cuckoo clock movement, right? There's the hands, there's the gears, there's the weights, there's the chains, there's a million things, right? So you can take these all apart and you can just sell them. Or if it works, I can repair each one of them and sell them for like $100 a piece, right? So it all depends on what I want to do, how much time I want to put into it, how much labor, if I just want to flip them out. I can flip on these movements, parts and repair, put a set of 5 on and sell those for $75 to $100 a piece, and somebody will buy them because she just wanted, I'm not sure if it's he or she, whatever. They wanted to just get rid of it. They just had a bunch of stuff. They just wanted to move out. I'm not sure if they work with people. Maybe it was a family. I don't know, whatever it was. But the thing is, she was moving them out cheap. And that was a really good price because these movements normally sell, even parts and repair, at like $20, $25 a piece. Parts and repair. And if they're working, you can get $50, $75, even $100, depending on the movement. If they're more complicated movements, you can get more money. So I won't bore you with that. So that's kind of like a good thought process behind that. So do that, focus on that, and you can make a lot of money doing things like that. You can make a ton of money. Really, really can. And I'll give you an example for a clock. So I'll go over some of my bolos, and I hope you're having a great November. And don't forget, the holidays are around the corner. So if you're not listing, list every day. If you don't want to pay for promoted listings, I don't think you should. I think you should just list. If you have a lot of stuff to list it. If you don't have a lot of stuff to list and you're not getting sales, do promoted listings. I think that's my conclusion to that whole theory. If you're competing against other people who have very similar items, and there's a lot of them on promoted listings, if there's not a lot of competition, you don't need to do that because somebody will find yours eventually. I remember I told you that eBay said to me, oh, you have listings on for 4 years. They're never going to sell my, what. I've sold a lot of those things in the last few months, and they said they weren't going to sell. Do you know why? Because no one else had them. So they will buy them. I've sold things 3 years old, 4 years old, 5 years old. They will buy them. So don't be afraid of that. If it's unusual, unique, and different. If you're selling a pair of Hanes socks and there's 800 people selling them, you better have promoted listings. You better get them for nothing. You know how that works, right? So that's the story behind all that. So my bolos, let me go over my clock story. So a couple of my clock stories. I have 2 clock stories. So again, I told you I love clocks, and that's one of my things I do love. And so I picked up a clock, and Facebook is my best friend for finding things like this. So go on Facebook, put in what you like, computers, clocks, whatever it is. I don't care, vacuum cleaners. I'm flipping gas trimmers now. You'd be surprised how people are throwing these things away every day. And it's like, this is so cool. And I'm learning how to repair them and fix them because I like to do that kind of stuff. It's my kind of niche. I love that. I'm a tinkerer. So I'll fix these things and do that. And I'm having a great time. I'm picking them up in the streets for free and I'm selling them for $100. And I'm putting a carburetor kit that it's just basically replaced very, very easy. And I'm, selling them and flipping them for $100 on Facebook for cash money. And that's a fantastic way of just making extra cash. So don't be afraid to do that. If you want to get your hands dirty, if you're familiar with mechanics or you're familiar with anything, you'd be surprised how much money you can really make on eBay. From Facebook to eBay, whatnot, from eBay to whatnot. It doesn't really matter. When you're looking to sell things, definitely don't be afraid to do that. Really is not, it's really cool. So I'll go over a couple of my bolos. So let's go over the clock one. So I sold a couple of clocks. Let's see, let me take a look at the older one. I picked one up for $25 maybe 6 months ago and sold that for $175. It's a beautiful clock. And I just sold one this weekend. It was, let me just take a look at my sales. I didn't even ship it yet. Actually, I just sold the other day. And let me take a quick look here. Let me go to my selling. 1 second. Let me just, I should have got this up and running. So I apologize. And let's go to orders and awaiting shipments. Okay. So I got a couple of really cool things here. So it's a Bulova. A lady wanted $35 for it. I said, I'll give you 20. She goes, fantastic. I'll take it. I said, great. Took it. And the thing worked fantastic. She had the key. It wasn't really very, very minor scuffs on it. Really nothing. Great little Bulova clock. With the manual and the key, I sold that with shipping for $194. I paid $20. There's a lot of money to be made with things like this. Another cool thing I just received, I went now listen to this. The same day I got that Bulova clock, there was another person I reached out to that had a bunch of old CB stuff, CB radios, and they had a whole box of stuff. And the guy goes, I just want to, give me $80 for everything. I said, I was only interested in a couple of things. And he says, I have all this stuff. Are you interested? I said, absolutely. I was going to ask him anyway, because you always ask. Oh, do you have any more of these? If you're buying a VCR, do you have any more VCRs? Or do you have any more cameras? Or what else are you looking to get rid of? Always ask, right? Because it doesn't hurt to ask. They can say, oh, I have nothing, or I have all of this stuff I forgot about. So always ask. And so it's a couple things. I got the clock, and around the corner was another person I was going to go see, which is in the same area, which is awesome because I didn't realize that till I went there, and they had the CB stuff. So the one of these really cool. So two things from the CB box in this box. One was a Ranger base station dual fan kit. Again, old 80s, 90s stuff, brand new in the box. Just sold that this weekend, $129 with shipping. Okay, that's really, really good. And the last thing I just sold from that lot, let me just go right here and let me just take a look at that. Another item I got from that same lot, from the CB lot, was it's called a Paradynamics. It's an SWR meter, 5,000 watts. That's like a booster kind of meter thing like that. I sold that for $350 with shipping. Now I paid $80 for the lot, right? Don't forget. So $350. I got $299 for this piece, and I got $100 for the other piece. That's $399 so far for 2 pieces. I still got 6 pieces left to go. Microphones, all kinds of cool stuff. So you can make a lot of money if you know what you're doing and have a little bit of education, learning. Do the research on eBay, see what things go for. Same thing when you're doing the auction. What's your max you want to pay? And when you're doing Facebook, what's the max you want to pay? This is the same theory, because you have to understand margin is everything. You got to calculate shipping. Make sure you put the shipping in there. Make sure you calculate everything, because at the end of the day, it's going to cost you out of your pocket if you don't do it right. And I've been doing this game for a long time, like I said. And so my idea is to really motivate you and educate you and inspire you. I mean, go to your local thrift store, go to your local, if you have like a local, a lot of places have free places to go to. You can go and pick up donations. Like they have like a lot of places have dump areas. Like you do like a dump, and like a lot of places don't have city pickup, and they'll have like a place you take like a dump, and they have like a little hut. And people donate things there for free, and you pick up, take away. You know what I mean? If you want to give something, you can. If you want to take something, you can. It's just to help the community out. And there's all kinds of cool stuff there too. You'd be surprised what you can find there. I sold an old pencil sharpener that I listed in 2020. I just sold that. Okay, old stuff doesn't sell. I think they do. I'm selling a bunch of yarn. I told you I went to Joann Fabrics when they were going out of business, and I've been selling a yarn, lots and lots of yarn, guys, all the time, man. Just killing it with the yarn. I mean, I'm not complaining at all. I think it's a great option with the yarn. I mean, I've never had an issue at all, and I've been doing really, really well. Yes, fantastic with the yarn. I've been killing it with the yarn, and I can't complain. I mean, how can you complain? I mean, it's just cool business to do, And I sold an old spring woodpecker on a pole that's from the 70s. Another store was going out of business. Oh, I forget that Forever 21 in one of those stores, right? So you go in these stores, you ever go by the mall and the store's going out of business and you see the sign, right? And you always walk by the sign and say, well, whatever, just walk by the sign. Well, I always go in the store and I always ask, what's going on? Look at the deal, look at the discounts. And the guy goes, oh, everything over there on that table over there, everything's a couple bucks. I said, all right, cool. So I picked up this 9 advanced compact fluorescent ballast, right? So the fluorescent for older school fluorescent lights. Now these ballasts are very expensive. They used to go for like $100 a piece. So I got 9 of them. So they're not as expensive as they used to be because LEDs coming out, it's becoming not as popular. But I did sell that lot of 9 for $80. So that's not bad. So $107 with shipping. That was a great deal. I mean, I think I paid like $6 for the whole thing. It was like really cheap, $7. The guy goes, hey, just take them. A bunch of stuff I got. So, I mean, things do sell. So get out there. Some vintage jewelry I sold. A vintage lot of broken watches. I guess Fossil, Timex, Kenneth Cole, parts and repair, $38 with shipping. Don't be afraid to sell broken things, guys. Don't be afraid. Get out there, sell. It doesn't really matter. As long as you describe it correctly, you should be good. Don't be afraid. And let me see what else I saw. Remote control, some old CB microphones I had. Let's see what else. More jewelry, some old tools I used to own myself, personal stuff. I've been getting rid of some of those things, and on and on and on. So you can see there's so much opportunity out there. I mean, I've been really doing really well. I've been kicking it up a little bit, been selling tons of CDs, DVDs. Remember I told you? And I've been selling used DVDs. Now, not a lot of money, $6-7 plus $6 shipping. So what it does, so I'm looking at it this way. I'm listing these DVDs that they're not worth a ton of money. They're easy to list and they're helping my algorithm, right? The algorithm is being helped. So that's really a good deal. So they're cheap. I got these almost for all for nothing. I got a whole, you can get CDs and DVDs for nothing everywhere. Everyone wants to get rid of their old stuff and there's still a ton out there. So get out there. Don't be afraid to look around and see what they have because there is a ton out there. So go around, look for these DVDs, CDs and list them. And they'll sell cheap. As long as you make a little profit, $5-6, fine. Make sure you get the shipping covered and you're good to go. It's going to help your algorithm. It's going to help your sales. So I figured this, why would I pay eBay to sell a product when I want to list more items and I'm going to get the same benefit in the back end? So I think that's really smart and I think it's really good. So I've been really doing well with that. Again, just sourcing every day, looking on Facebook. What I type into Facebook Marketplace is that free stuff near me. That's the keywords I use. Free stuff near me. Write that down. Free stuff near me. And things will pop up. And then you can put set up an alert, free stuff near me. So every time someone lists something that says free curb pickup, all that kind of stuff, you can pick it up for free. Now that's really a great deal. Free is always good in my book. So there's plenty of margin. Even if it's no good, it's still a good deal. Picked up an old iMac. I think it was an old, let me see what version it is. It was an older, small little iMac. And the guy goes, it's free. He couldn't sell it, so it was just free. So I picked it up, brought it home, looked it up. I reset everything. I formatted everything, erased everything, got everything up and running because that's easy enough to do. It's all online, very easy. I listed it for $80. It's older. It's an old Intel, so it's not, the M1, M2, whatever, but that's okay. People still look for the old ones. They use the older ones for servers. If you have an old server and you're looking for an old Mac, it's great for that, right? The old Mac Minis. It's a Mac Mini. That's what it was. It was a Mac Mini. And I think it's an M5. I think it was M5, right? Yeah, M5, which is great. Still a decent processor. So it's decent. So and it works. Like the monitor worked. Everything worked great. So that's fantastic. And that was free. And a bunch of CDs and a bunch of stuff that came with that as well. So there's always cool stuff to look at. I got 2. Now listen to this one. Again, I'm going to tell you another story about Facebook, guys. This is reality. Free stuff near me. So a guy says free. This was on, I think, and the best time to do that, honestly, is Saturday afternoon after 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock on Sunday is another really good time because they had the yard sales, right? And they want to get rid of their stuff. It's like, this is done. Put it on the curb, get rid of it, throw it away. They put everything on Facebook. Everybody knows about that now, so it's super easy, right? And it's tons of stuff. I mean, you look, I got this. I could drive all over the damn state and get so much stuff. It's ridiculous. All free. So this guy's local. He says, I got a couple of free VCRs and a receiver. I said, okay, cool. So I swing by. I was right down the street from my house. So I swung by. He goes, it's in the corner over there under the blanket. So thank you so much. And that was it. I took them home and they didn't really work great. And I know how to fix these things. So I opened it up. and clean the heads. I know how to clean the VCR heads, simple stuff, right? I clean the video head, I clean the tracking head, I clean the audio head. That's all you have to do. You go to YouTube and Google how to clean VCR heads, okay? And I made some videos myself and show you how to do this. Really super easy. And within 5 minutes, the VCR was up running and perfect audio, perfect tracking, and perfect video. It's just dirty, guys. Most of the time, it's just dirt. Unless the rollers are gone, or if it's really falling apart, or if it's water damaged, then it's pretty difficult to repair. It just doesn't matter. So for free, who cares? Take it. And if you take it apart and don't fix it right, so what? You gave it a shot. It's free. So I fixed it and put it on Facebook. 2 days, boom, sold $60 cash. I have 2 of these. Got the second one, got it down in my basement, took it apart, did the exact same thing, clean the heads, clean the tracking, clean the audios, boom, boom, boom. Worked perfectly. Bam, another $60, 2 days. $120 pure profit just for nothing. Now, this is what I'm talking about. This is what you can do in your area. So don't be afraid to do that. Get out there, look, and you can make a nice little profit when you're selling on eBay. And that's really, honestly, really what it is, guys. So don't be afraid to do that. It's all about the money. And if you're looking to make money, it's very important. If you're light on cash, you want to make sure you get that cash in your pocket, because someone else is going to do it, or they're going to throw it in the trash. So you're saving the environment. This is how I look at it. I'm taking these old weed whackers. I'm taking these old VCRs. I'm taking these old clocks. I am trying to fix them the best of my ability. And I'm trying to just resell them for a little bit of profit. I'm saving the landfill. I'm helping the economy because I'm going to spend more money, right? This is how it works. This is what the American way is, kind of. And it all kind of goes around in circles as it is. And eventually that person who buys that weed whacker from me, that might die out again in 4 years, and the same thing's going to happen again. Another person's going to buy it, they're going to fix it, and they're going to do the same thing, right? So it's crazy. Think about that. So it's wild, right? So much. The opportunities are just insane about what's out there about this. Crazy. So hope you enjoyed your summer. Hope you enjoyed your fall. We're rolling into winter. The holidays are coming very quickly. And make sure you list everything. Take good photos. Like I told you, check out my YouTube channel, Talking eBay on YouTube. Very important. Check that out. And if you didn't listen to my last podcast, I had a special guest. It was ChatGPT. Now, I asked ChatGPT to be my guest, and she was, or he was, I forget what voice I was using. He was. And it was awesome. No, she was. And it was awesome. It was a great experience. Very interesting. So go listen to that podcast. Just look at Talking eBay, and then you'll see the episode with the ChatGPT special guest. And it was a really good show. I really enjoyed it because she knows everything, right? She kind of knows what's going on. She knows the back end. She gave us a lot of information about how to handle thrift stores and how to deal with customers and yard sales and about eBay and just all kinds of stuff. And it was really spot on. A couple hiccups here and there. But other than that, honestly, she did a fantastic job. So I'm pretty impressed with her. And we're going to do another one of those. And I'm trying to get my daughter to do a show with me because, children of entrepreneurs, what is it like? And that's going to be a good show, guys. So listen to that. Follow the channel. Follow this podcast wherever you're listening to me, Spotify or Apple or whatever it is. Just go ahead and listen to that. And you'll be very amazed what my daughter has to say. She's very, very interesting, her growing up as an entrepreneurial child. Because we did a lot of crazy stuff growing up, and we did a lot of different things, And I think I made her the woman she is today. She's bright, she's smart, she's intelligent, she's a go-getter. She makes a lot of money at her job, and she just really knows what she's doing. I think I had a little bit of influence on that. She does not work for herself. She works for a company. And that Gen Z X, whatever she is, I'm not sure, is she just loves it, and she does really, really well. But she knows in the back that how things were growing up, and she would help us set up at shows and craft shows, and we would do all kinds of cool things and make things and do things as a family. And, always getting, even now, I'm a little older, of course, I'm going to have a granddaughter, and she would say to me, are you selling on eBay again? She's only 6-7 years old. And she said, now she knows. She says, are you on eBay again? What? Oh, that's for eBay. Oh, here, you can take this. I don't want this anymore. Put this on eBay. She's like driving me crazy. It is so cute. It's like, no, I'm kind of influencing her a little bit in the second generation, right? She sells me selling eBay. She comes into the office. What's all this? This is going to go on eBay, right? I said, yep, it's all going to go on eBay. And she helps me do YouTube. She helps me do eBay, and she helps me do all kinds of stuff. We have a lot of fun together because you know what? If it's not fun, you don't do it. That was my goal last year. That was my promise I made to myself, and I'm going to tell you my promise. If it doesn't bring you joy, don't do it. I don't care. If you can. If you have to work, you have to work. If it doesn't bring you joy, it's okay. You can find something else to have joy. But for the average of something you don't want to do. So once someone said to me, I was on a conference call, and they said, well, what about working out? I really don't like to work out. I said, that's true. I said, working out, it's a twofold. Think about it. I don't want to work out, but after I got done working out, I really feel good about myself. And that brings you what? That brings you joy. So yes, sometimes things might not bring you joys up front, but they give you joy in the back end. So sometimes you take a risk when buying something, you're nervous about paying for something, right? Like, think about this, and then you make some money in the back end, say, oh, I really did well with that. So what does that bring you? It brings you some joy. So it all kind of goes together with the whole joy thing. So that's my thing. It's been since last year. That was my New Year's Eve. What do you call it? Whatever it is. And I stuck with that. And resolution, that's it. And I stuck with that all year, and I'm still doing it today. So if I don't like it, if it doesn't bring me joy, I'm not going to do it. If it's something it's going to hurt me, if I'm not going to be happy doing it, if it's going to be too expensive, because if I knew those clock parts were going to no more than $200, I bought them for under $200. So what did it bring me? It brought me joy. And that's the way it is. If I lost it, I lost it. So you can control your own joy depending on if you know the knowledge. The knowledge is the key to all of this. So the more you know, the more joy you can have, right? You know that working out is going to make you either fit, lose weight, be more athletic. I don't care what it is. It's going to hurt. You're not going to like to do it. You're going to hate it. But at the end, what is it going to bring you? It's going to bring you some joy because you're going to be able to perform better. You're going to be able to make more money. You're going to be able to, whatever it is. It's all about really motivation, inspiration, and just being motivated to keep going and not stopping, because at the end of the day, you really want to have that cash in the bank and you don't want to run out, guys, right? That's important. So that's all I just wanted to fill in this podcast. I haven't done one in a while. I want to just do one today. Today's a gorgeous day out today. It's beautiful weather, and we're just having an amazing, amazing fall here. And it's still yard sale season, believe it or not. People are out there putting out stuff for free and selling things, and the market's really moving and things are really happening. And I also want to talk to you in the next episode about what do you do for your retirement? How are you going to handle that? It's very important. It's not all just about eBay all the time. We have to talk about a little bit about business, about yourself. We got to take care of yourself long term, because eBay takes care of you short term. But what about the long term? What's going to happen to you long term? We got to fix that too. So we're going to be talking about doing investing, doing 401k or 403bs or whatever you're doing, a Roth or IRAs, whatever it really is. Because as an entrepreneur, when you are self-employed, it's time to think that way, because things change. You need to put away a little bit of money every week, every time. We taught our daughter growing up when she got her first job, great. 50% goes in the bank and 50% goes in your pocket. And this is how we taught her to save. And you know what? That lesson stays today. Now she's teaching her daughter 50% you want, well, she's not working yet, but 50% you earn and 50% goes in your pocket, because this teaches you the basic fundamentals of basic savings. Because at the end of the day, when you get older and you can't work anymore, so many people have no money in the bank. A lot of people have under $1,000 in savings, and that's just not going to cut it today. And there's no more pensions, and there's no more retirement, no more nothing, guys. So you got to take care of yourself, and we're going to do it baby steps at a time. We're going to help you through that journey. Because we're talking eBay, it's not just making money on eBay, it's also taking care of yourself long term, and that's really very important. I mean, if you think that's important, definitely follow the channel for more. I'm going to get more into it. I'm not going to be preaching. I'm just going to give you some education and motivation and inspiration to educate you, so you make the right decisions for you. Even if you put $50 a month away, it doesn't really matter. That's going to help you in the long run, because the average market gets around 8 to 10% return. You keep compounding that for 20 or 30 or 40 years, whatever you want to do, however old you are. And you'd be surprised how that's going to grow. And that's going to help you with Social Security, if that's still here. And that, of course, and if you want to, people still work until their 80s, right? I know people who work until their 80s on eBay. So eBay is a really easy business to do. You can work until your 80s, no problem. But you know what? What if you really want to retire? Or really, what if you want eBay to be extra money? eBay could be an extra $10,000 to $15,000 a year. Say, I'm taking that vacation. That could be extra money. And that brings you what? Joy. So I hope you enjoyed this episode, guys. Listen, I really appreciate you listening to me. I didn't want to ramble on too long. I try to keep them around 30 minutes, these podcasts. So if you enjoyed it, don't forget to follow, like, and share. And definitely check out that ChatGPT episode. I think you're going to really enjoy it. It was really, really cool. Keep on listening on eBay. Keep sourcing on everywhere you can. And never give up. Never surrender. Always think positive. Always have joy. And always have a great day, because you never know, man. You know how it's going. Every day you hear in the news, it's this guy from KISS, Paul Stanley. I mean, it's just so many people. It's like, it's scary what's going on. And we need to be positive, and we need to be motivated. We need to get out there and make it happen. And I hope I did that for you. Bring you some excitement and bring you some joy. That's what I want to do. I hope I brought you some joy, guys. Listen, I appreciate your time as always. Thank you so much for listening. Talking eBay. And I'll see you at the next episode.